I've been awake for almost 24 hours.
What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. I had the chance to manage a wedding for the past couple of days, and I'm sure that statement alone opens up a lot of unanswered questions, so let me just dive right in. Now first off, I don't promote myself as an event manager, but I would be lying if I said that it never interested me, so when the opportunity came my way, I took it. Let's start chronologically. Back in February, a good friend of mine contacted me, generally asking if I ever had an interest in event management or if I would be interested in gaining experience in that field. And since I'm open for anything and that has actually interested me before, I said sure. So she told me about her sister who was getting married in June and that she was looking for someone to take care of a lot of things and what they call an event manager. I'm sure an event manager is an actual job, but I don't think I ticked all the boxes. Like, I didn't plan anything, I just made sure everything goes as planned. I moderated the whole event and I just made sure everything is on track. I did have quite a lot of responsibility, but luckily everything went smoothly. Now, back to the story. So I told her sure, I met up with her sister, we assumingly got along, and well, I had the job if you can call it that. Over the months I was in contact with her sister, the bride, and before I knew it, the weekend of the wedding was only a couple of weeks away, so I actually started getting ready for it. I have to say, I think I got about 4 different final drafts of the actual wedding plan from the bride, because things were changed around constantly, but it still gave me a good idea of what my job was actually going to be. And I was thrilled to find out that I was not only going to make sure caterers do what they're supposed to do, but I was also going to moderate the whole event. So I was going to speak in the microphone, tell people to go certain places, announce the wedding cake, and all sorts. So at that point I was getting really excited. So to sum it up, I got this opportunity through a friend that I'm so glad I did because I learned a lot from it. But I'm going to elaborate on my lessons after I show you guys what I did there. So the day before the wedding was all about preparation. It was probably one of the rainiest days of the year so far, and since most of the wedding was gonna be outside, that was an issue preparation-wise. There was a huge tent that was organized, absolutely beautiful. The venue was near a castle, but since it was raining, we were only able to set up everything inside of the tent on the day before the wedding. That included unpacking and organizing furniture, making sure the bride likes the way everything looks. We stored the wine boxes and prepared flower petals and all sorts of small little goodies for the actual event on the next day. We were able to get quite a lot done, but if it wouldn't have rained, the next day, which was the actual day of the wedding, would have been a bit less stressful for myself. So that's pretty much everything I have to say for the day before the wedding. Let's go to the actual wedding day. My day started at around 6 a.m. I drove to the venue, which was about an hour. I had my 3-page checklist of what to do. 11 a.m. was supposed to be my 1-hour break so I can shower, get ready, and drive back to the venue to start making the final checkups and then welcome the guests. I pulled up with my backpack, my camera, my suit, clothing for the next day, a snack. I really did look ready. My first job was to open up all sides of the tent since we couldn't do that the day before and you shouldn't leave it open overnight. At first, I struggled quite a lot with detaching the sides of the tent with the wooden pieces, I don't know what to call them, with the wooden pieces that they were tied onto in the grass. However, after about 2 sides, I think there were a total of 14 or 12, I kind of figured out a more efficient technique. After that, all by myself, I carried out a bunch of furniture that was supposed to be outside, but we weren't able to carry it outside because of the bad weather the previous day. And that's when things got a little stressful. The first day was supposed to end at 3, and I came home at 8 in the evening. That showed me for the first time that at events, I don't know if it's just weddings, but at events, it's good to have a time schedule, but don't take it too serious because things have to get done, and if they're not done, well, then you have to stay longer. That's just the way it is. The actual wedding ceremony was also supposed to be outside, and that was like a whole scenery with furniture, and I had a paper that the bride drew onto where she showed me exactly how she wanted it. Well, anyways, there was a guy who was supposed to cut the grass, and that took about 2 hours longer than it was supposed to because the grass was still wet. So the entire morning schedule of the actual wedding day elongated from 2 hours into 4 hours. And I have to say, I was pretty stressed. I was tired, I was hungry, I was sweaty. Even though I know it's not necessarily my fault if something goes wrong, I feel responsible just because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. By the way, I knew the bride was as well. And I just want to do my job right. I want to do it to the best of my abilities. So I went to the hotel with a cab, So I just got to the hotel 1.5 hours later than I was supposed to be here because stuff took longer at the venue, and now I have 50 minutes to shower, change, and eat something, and then head back to start arranging, sound checking, and managing everything. So it's time to hop in the shower. Okay, so showering is done. I have to say extremely stressful because I have barely any time. I think I just chugged half of the water that came out of the shower head just because I barely had time to drink anything. And now it's time to already get dressed. Let's do this. The bride asked me to wear something that pops out so people understand who I am and what my job is. And I had to do it my way. So I got this suit. It is an extremely rare piece, but I'm a very big fan, and I'm someone who can pull stuff like this off. Now it's time. It is a bit much, and it actually does look a bit like a clown, but in the best way possible. Besides that, you know, clown isn't necessarily bad. I heard that there are a lot of children at the wedding, so it's like a family-friendly wedding outfit. I honestly have to say I barely remember what was going on in my head at that time, just because I was in such a weird headspace. I was not feeling it, but at the same time I was really excited. Very odd. I wouldn't say I was nervous just because I knew everything was going to work out, but I was excited for it to be over, or at least for it to start, just so I can tick things off my list again. So after my quick lunch break, I took another cab back to the venue, sweating like a sinner in church, but pretty excited for the event to start soon. To my big surprise, the moment the ceremony started, everything just fell into place. It was a pleasant surprise because in the morning I did have a couple of doubts about certain things. And I have to say it was an absolutely beautiful wedding. The weather was perfect, and since I was a friend of the bride's sister, I was kind of like a guest as well. I was allowed to eat from the catering, I was allowed to have fun in between as long as I looked occasionally onto my checklist to see what kind of happens at what time. So I definitely had a good time at the event as well. I danced, I had a lot of good food, I hung out with my friends, and yeah, I generally had a good time. It was the best of both worlds. I was allowed to work and have fun. At some point it was time to light some candles. I walked around occasionally acting all important, you know, just like... The only major thing that was left was after 3 a.m. So after 3 a.m. my job was, together with the catering people, to start collecting decorations and slowly carrying it in the back of another tent, which was only for storage and catering. It was definitely an experience running around with huge flowers in practically a field towards darkness. But again, I take everything with a bit of humor, and it was a good experience. I can't really say anything negative. And I don't really want to either. I mean, I knew I was gonna work late, but everyone was super nice to me. I got a lot of compliments on my work. I got a lot of compliments on my suit. Some people even stopped me to take pictures of the suit alone. I think some of them cut out my face of the picture just because they really only wanted the outfit. And then when I finished everything up, I was allowed to go home. I was pretty dead at that point, I have to say, but the sunrise was absolutely beautiful. Nevertheless, I definitely wanted to go to my room and just relax for a bit. Oh, it feels really good to be in bed.
I've been awake for almost 24 hours.
Ugh. So overall, I'm extremely happy and grateful that I had this opportunity to manage an event, because that's not something everyone can say. And objectively speaking, it is a field I potentially had interest in. However, now that I've actually worked in it, I don't think I will do it again. It is fun, but it is a lot of stress. However, I've learned a lot of important lessons that will most probably calm me down the next time I throw a big party, or if I'm ever lucky enough to get married myself. I'm mentioning it again, the time schedule. It's good to have one, but don't take it too serious. And then, at the end of the day, it's not that important if a table is a bit to the left or to the right, because when the actual event is happening, you're just so full of love and full of happiness. Doesn't matter if it's a wedding or a party or any other celebration of happiness. Things don't matter as much in the moment. And that is something I can definitely keep in the back of my head for the rest of my life. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it is an extremely exciting topic. I'm so happy that I was allowed to share it with you guys. Of course, I double checked with the bride and her family before, but this is definitely a milestone for me because it is work experience, and looking back, it was quite a big deal. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments, and take care. Bye.